In this tutorial, we look at the Harpies passage on page 118 of Jenny's first year Latin. Fugam Troianorum Aeneas semper narrabat. Aeneas is our subject. Aeneas always was telling, he was continuously telling of the flight of the Trojans. He was narrating the escape, the flight of the Trojans. Aeneas nominative subject, fugam accusative direct object, and Troianorum genitive plural modifying fugam. In Creta, laeti oppidum aedificavimus sed frustra. In Creta, ablative place where. In Crete, laeti agrees with our subject we happy people. Here we can translate it adverbially as happily. We built a town. Sed frustra, adverb in vain. Caeli ira in populum Troianum a Dei semper demonstrabatur, nam frumenti inopia pestilentiaque laborabamus. The wrath, nominative, of heaven, genitive, in populum Troianum, towards, against the Trojan people, in plus accusative here. Demonstrabatur, was being shown continuously by the gods. A plus ablative, personal agent with the passive verb demonstrabatur. For laborabamus, we were suffering. Frumenti inopia. This is ablative, inopia, because of lack of grain, a lack of grain. And this is an objective genitive. We lacked grain. We suffered from a lack of grain. And from pestilentia, ablative, from disease. Tum in meis somnis Dei Troiae de caelo volaverunt, atque auxilium dederunt, viam enim ad Italiam demonstraverunt. Then, in my dreams, in plus ablative place where, Dei nominative, the gods of Troy genitive, de caelo, down from the sky, volaverunt, flew. They flew down from the sky. Atque auxilium dederunt, and they gave assistance. Auxilium, accusative, direct object of dederunt. Viam enim ad Italiam demonstraverunt. Notice enim here, it's postpositive, coming not at the beginning of its clause, but we'll translate it as though it were here. For they showed, they pointed out the road, the route, accusative direct object, ad Italiam, accusative object of the preposition ad. Italia vocatur Hesperia. Italy is called Hesperia. Hesperia here is a predicate nominative, just as Italia is nominative. Italy is called Hesperia, or Hesperia is called Italy. One the subject, the other one the predicate nominative. In Italia, Troia nova a Troianis aedificabitur. In Italy, ablative of place where, in plus ablative, Troia nova, a new Troy, nominative subject, aedificabitur, will be built, a Troianis, ablative of personal agent, a plus ablative, by the Trojans. Next paragraph. Ut super altum ergo navigabamus, magna procella ad insulam portabamur, ubi harpuiae monstra dira et fera habitabant. Dira et fera habitabant. Here we have three clauses. Ut introduces a temporal clause. As we were sailing, therefore, across, over the deep sea, super altum. Altum is accusative object of the preposition super. And this is a dependent clause, subordinate clause introduced by up. As we were sailing, as therefore we were sailing. Here's our main clause. Magna procella is going to be ablative of means. Portabamur, we were carried, passive, by a great storm. Magna procella. We could put the A's in here if we wanted to, long A's. We were carried by a big storm to the island, ad plus accusative, where the Harpies. And ubi introduces our third clause, another subordinate clause. This elaborates on the island where the Harpies, scary and wild monsters, lived, habitabant, used to live, were living, lived. We were carried to the island where the Harpies, frightful, fierce monsters, lived. Feminae foedae erant. They were filthy, vile women. At magnis alis volabant. But they flew, or they could fly, by means of large wings. Ala alai, feminine wing. Here, ablative plural, ablative of means. How were they able to fly? They flew by means of big wings. Atque ut cenam parabamus, de caelo de volaverunt, et cibum rapide occupaverunt, et tum alte a volaverunt. And here we have a subordinate clause. As we were preparing the meal, as we were preparing a meal, de caelo de volaverunt. They flew down from the sky. De volaverunt. Notice the prepositional prefix de volaverunt. They flew down. And cibum rapide occupaverunt. They quickly seized the food. Cibum, accusative direct object of occupaverunt. Rapide, adverb, expressing the manner in which they seized the food. Et tum, and then alte a volaverunt. They flew away. Alte, high, as an adverb, we might say they flew far away into the sky. Notice, de volaverunt, they flew down, and then a volaverunt, they flew away. And here we have our conjunctions et and et. So we have three main verbs, de volaverunt, occupaverunt, a volaverunt. Rursus cibum paravimus, rursusque ad volaverunt harpuiae, parati autem eramus, nam tela occupaveramus. Here we have paravimus, a main clause. We prepared food again. And now, notice the que. We have combined with that another main clause. And again, the harpies flew towards, understand, us. Ad volaverunt. Again, the harpies approached in flight. They flew towards us. Ad volaverunt. Parati autem eramus. Autem is a post-positive conjunction. Notice it comes second in the clause, but we'll put it at the beginning. However, eramus parati, we were prepared. Or if we take this as a verb form, we had been prepared. I prefer we were prepared, imperfect eramus, parati, predicate nominative, nam for tela occupaveramus. We had seized our tela, our weapons. We had gotten weapons. Pluperfect, explaining how or why we were prepared, in what way we were prepared. Diu cum harpuis pugnabamus, at denique monstra in fugam nostris telis dabantur. For a long time, adverb, cum harpuis, cum plus ablative, with the harpies, we fought, or were fighting, imperfect, but finally, monstra, the monsters, in fugam, into flight, nostris telis, by means of our weapons, dabantur, were given. In fugam dare, this is an idiom, to put to flight, to rout. So here, instead of saying they were given into flight, which doesn't make sense in English, they were put to flight, they were routed by means of our weapons. At iram ut avolabant de monstra verunt, et mala verba fatidica a harpiarum domina clamabantur. But our main verb at the beginning of this sentence is de monstra verunt. They showed their iram, their anger, accusative direct object. Ut avolabant is a subordinate clause, as they were flying away. Temporal clause. As they were flying away, they showed their anger. So ad iram ut avolabant demonstraverunt. Notice how that temporal clause is nested, embedded inside the main clause. Iram demonstraverunt. Et mala verba fatidica, this is our subject, and evil prophetic words, a harpiarum domina, by the master, by the mistress of the harpies, clamabantur, were being shouted. So passive, verba, words were being shouted, evil prophetic words were being shouted by the domina, by the mistress, by the leader, female. That's our ablative of personal agent, object of a. And then harpiarum, the leader of the harpies. In Italiam navigabitis, sed magna inopia ante labораbitis et mensas vestras devorabitis. You will sail into Italy, but you will suffer with great want ante, before. Understand, before you get there. But first you will suffer with great want, and so you will devour even your own tables. Finis.